Would you say that the billionaires' election, talking about it that way, is sort of a coded way, a coded critique of capitalism? And now, when you have Michael Bloomberg coming into the race, he won't be in South Carolina so much as Super Tuesday, he's pouring millions into taking on Bernie Sanders and trying to make this an issue about socialism, red baiting him as much as possible, trying to pose it as you either have me or you have Cuba.
This is such an American talking point that Michael Bloomberg is engaged in that we all need to educate. First of all, you know, I think there are some people who had a great life in the 20th century who should have considered remaining in it, right? Like, if your framework, like, if you are still running nuclear drills in your mind, right, you may not belong in the 21st century. Like, and I see it on TV all the time, like, there are people who clearly have Cold War trauma, and I feel for them, but we're not actually in the Cold War anymore, right? We're in just a completely different era, right? And just as it would have been unhelpful in the Cold War to be, like, talking about what we need to do in the trenches of World War I, it's just not a helpful framework for the Cold War, because it's just not now. It's not particularly helpful now in 2020 to be reliving your own Cold War trauma as guidance for the United States. Michael Bloomberg is trying to present this, old American talking point that you got two choices, people. We can either be a Goldman Sachs country or we can be Maduro's Venezuela. Those are your choices. That's the whole choice. We have come to a place in America, which I find fascinating, where our understanding of gender is more fluid than our understanding of capitalism, socialism, and democracy. It's remarkable. I never would have expected that. We've made tremendous progress in understanding that it's not like men, women, nothing in between. It's complicated. People fall all kinds of places on that distribution. But capitalism and socialism, no. It's one or the other. The reality is, for any person who's actually traveled or read a book, every country in the world, with maybe a couple of exceptions, has some mix of capitalism and socialism. When you're on the highway, the thing beneath you, socialism. The things on the highway, capitalism. The cars and the trucks carrying stuff. When you are on Wall Street, the banks, capitalism. The regulators that make sure that brokers are not stealing their money, socialism, right? When you work for 40 years at IBM, capitalism. When you retire and have Social Security and Medicare take care of you, socialism, right? It's early in the morning. I have already in the course of this day, by eating certain things, engaged in capitalism. By taking a car here, engaged in capitalism. But I've also benefited profoundly, just by 8 a.m., from socialism, from the fact that people, there were roads. It was nice to have roads on the way. It made it much faster commute. All the ways in which capitalism and socialism are actually part of every hour of our lives. Let's end this ridiculous binary and have some understanding of economic fluidity.